I'm Lisa Prince with the North Carolina Egg Association, and I'm going to show you how to make an angel food cake. This is a type of sponge cake. It has no yolks, egg yolks, and no butter, so therefore it has less fat and less calories. You want to start off with room temperature fresh eggs. There's 12 of these, and you've got to separate your yolks from your whites. You can do it in like a little thing like this, which is just an egg separator. I prefer to do the old-fashioned way, shell to shell. So you're going to crack your egg, get your 2 halves, let your egg whites go down in one bowl, go back and forth just a couple of times. Be careful, make sure your shell doesn't puncture your egg yolk, and then save your yolks, because you can use that for lemon curds, breads, other recipes. So now we're going to prepare the rest of our ingredients. I've got a little handy dandy chopper here, but you could use a food processor or a blender if you've got one. And I'm going to add in 1 3/4 cup of granulated sugar. And I'm going to pulse this for a little while. We're just going to get it aerated so that our cake is lighter. It's all fine and powdery. I'm going to take this out so that I can measure a cup, because we're going to add in a cup of this sugar on its own to the egg whites. I'm going to dump it out. I'm going to measure out a cup. Need a little bit more. I'm going to set that aside. Get my chopper back together. Put my aerated sugar back in the chopper. And then I'm going to add 1 cup plus 2 tablespoons of spooned and leveled cake flour. And 1/4 teaspoon of salt. That's all combined, light and airy. And now we can get to the mixer and start to make the cake. So now we're going to work with our egg whites. These are really important to an angel food cake because they act as a leavening agent, which helps this cake to come out nice and tall. You want to also use your whisk attachment, and that incorporates air into the eggs and the batter. So I'm going to put on the whisk attachment. We're going to add in our 12 fresh room temperature egg whites. And a little bit of cream of tartar. And we're going to whisk these for about a minute until the eggs get foamy. Once your egg whites get foamy, you're going to turn your blender up to a medium-high speed, and you're going to gradually add in that cup of sugar that we aerated earlier, and you're going to whip this for 5 to 6 minutes until you get soft peaks. So when you whip up egg whites and you're incorporating air, you can get different level of peaks. A soft peak is going to curve over more whenever you pull it up. I'll show you an example. See how it kind of lays over? If I was to continue whipping this, it would stand up more for a medium peak, and it would be completely straight up for whenever you do hard peaks. Now that we've got soft peaks, I'm going to add in 1 1/2 teaspoons of pure vanilla. And I'm gonna turn the mixer back on just until this gets incorporated. There we go. Isn't it so pretty? It's all white and fluffy. Okay, this next step, you want to take your time and be patient. Put on some jazz music if you need to. I've got our cake flour and our sugar that we combined with our salt earlier and got it nice and fluffy. You're going to add this into your egg whites in 3 separate additions. You want to take your time, you're going to sift it in. All these steps are what make an angel food cake so delicious. Pretty good. So once you sift that in there, you're going to take a rubber spatula and you just want to fold it. And take your time incorporating that in so that your cake will be nice and airy and not dense. Okay, we've got all our ingredients together. Now you're going to pour it into an ungreased 9 or 10-inch tube pan. You want to make sure it's a tube pan, not a bundt pan, because it's very important for the structure and the stability of the cake. Make sure we get all that goodness so this cake will bake and rise up nice and tall. Once you get it all in the pan, you are going to want to just kind of smooth down the top. Make sure it's all even. Do that gently so you don't deflate it. And then you're going to put it in a 325-degree oven and bake it for 40 to 45 minutes. Halfway through baking, you want to make sure that you rotate your pan halfway around, and then that way the cake is baked nice and evenly all the way around. So after this cake finishes baking, you pull it out of the oven and you cool it on a rack upside down for 3 hours. Once it's completely cooled, you want to take a thin knife and run it around the edge, and then it'll pop out and be absolutely beautiful, just like this. Isn't it pretty? I mean, it's like a pillow or a cloud, and it's all tall, and it's got just a little bit of glistening. When you cut this cake, you want to make sure you use a serrated knife. Because of the texture of the cake, it just gives you a nicer, cleaner slice. This really has become one of my favorite cakes because it is so light and moist. All right, here's the true test. It's white, it's airy, it's spongy, it's sweet. You can enjoy it by yourself. You can add any North Carolina fruit, blueberries, raspberries, strawberries. Serve it with ice cream, Cool Whip, whipped cream. The possibilities are endless.